today's video is going to be all about my freelance makeup kit. And last time I did a video kind of similar to this one was 2 years ago, and I did the how to become or how to start off as a freelance makeup artist. And a lot of the comments on that video were people wanting to see my kit and, you know, what do I pack in my kit and what products do I use. And so I'm finally going to be going into all those details about my kit today, finally 2 years later. This is I think it's called the MAC carry-all bag. I'm gonna go more in depth about this bag later and, you know, what's in it and how I pack it, all that stuff. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my brush belt. So this is my brush belt from MAC. You can buy an actual MAC brush belt only in the MAC Pro store. They're not available in regular MAC stores. Just in general, like an overview of my brush belt, I have all kind of the face brushes on this side, and then I have the eye brushes on this side. I have a good amount of blending brushes. I feel like that's the most important part when you're doing an eyeshadow look. In this little pouch right here, I have my beauty blenders. But besides the brushes in here, some of the tools that I have in here are my spatula, which is really important because you don't want to get a lot of makeup on the back of your hand. I mean, you can if you want to, but just to avoid that, I like using my spatula. Then I have my scissors in here, which obviously I use to cut lashes. Sometimes lashes are too long, sometimes people have smaller eyes, and if you don't cut the lash, it'll poke the person in the eye and it'll just be very uncomfortable for them. So I always make sure I have a pair of lashes. Also in here, I just have my little sharpener, my little MAC sharpener, which is also important just in case one of your pencils breaks. I also have a pair of tweezers. I use this to apply lashes. You typically shouldn't use tweezers because you could really like poke the person, but I've done it so much, like I kind of am used to it. I also have like a spatula to dig out any product or moisturizer or gel eyeliner. I use the spatula for that. And then that's pretty much it. Another thing I forgot to mention, which is really important, I forgot to mention it because I'm using it and I can't show it to you, but it is my ring light. So this is the case that my ring light came in. It's called, I guess it's called Flashpoint. So this is, I got this like about a year ago now, and I don't know how I used to freelance and do makeup without it before. There's times where I've done makeup and it's been dark in the room and I literally will have to like hold up my phone and hold up a flashlight to do makeup. So I highly suggest if you are going to be freelancing to have a ring light. The one that I have is pretty small, I guess you would say. I think the size that I have is 13 inches. I don't find that I need anything bigger. The 13, I think it's 13 inches, 13 or 14. It works just fine. It's so helpful, especially when you're doing something important like a wedding and, you know, you want to be able to see everything. If it's not lit enough in the hotel or in the person's house or wherever you're doing their makeup, a ring light it's pretty necessary. To me at least. Another good item to have with you or to bring with you if you can carry all this stuff is a chair. So as you can see back here, I have my makeup artist director's chair. I typically don't bring that chair with me a lot just because I'm already carrying like my ring light, the stand for the ring light, the bag, usually I carry my purse, so it's a lot. But if you can, or if you have an assistant or something and you can bring a chair with you, I would suggest bringing a chair because, again, there's been situations where I've done makeup and I'm like this and like crouching down and they only have very low seats and it's just very uncomfortable, especially if you're doing a lot of people and you're going to be there for hours. You want to have a high enough chair so you can comfortably do makeup. That one is good. It's like a perfect height. So the one thing that I can say that I kind of don't need is a chair. I mean, I wish I had it a lot of the time, but it's not a necessity. I know there's those chairs that kind of like turn into backpacks that could be really like useful and convenient, but for me, I usually have my brush belt. I usually carry my brush belt in my purse along with like my own like personal stuff. I'll have my makeup bag, which is usually it's the MAC one, this one, and then I'll have my ring light. So I'll show you how I pack this one, the products I use, and typically what I use for a freelance gig. This is my bag all packed up. I'm going to show you everything I have inside and all the little compartments and everything. So starting with the outside pockets, I have my Jaclyn Hill palette on the outside. It's kind of too big to fit on the inside where I have the rest of my palette, so I just put it out here. I like to bring this one with me pretty much to any client that I'm going to do, because it has a lot of good shimmer neutral colors, which is really good for bridal, and then it has a lot of nice like matte neutral colors, which are good for the crease, or could be good to deepen the look with the darker shades. So I end up getting a lot of use out of this palette. So that goes on the outside. And then on the other flap on the outside, I have my handheld mirror. So I bring this because sometimes I'll ask the client to do their own mascara just because it saves time and it's easier. And sometimes clients are really sensitive when it comes to their eyes and applying eyeliner and stuff. So sometimes I'll just have them apply their own mascara. So they'll use this to look through. And then also, a lot of the times clients want to see their makeup as they're, as it's getting done, and I try not to let them look too much because it could be really time consuming if they're looking at every little detail you do, but I let them use this at the end to see if they like the makeup or not. Then for the inside, plop it open. Alright, so first we're gonna start off with the stuff we have just like laying around on the inside. So I have my black towel. So the towel I learned in beauty school to always have a towel with you. It doesn't have to be black, just whatever color, to lay it out on your station. So that way, as you can see here on the sides, like sometimes I'll use this to clean my brush in between like colors or in between clients, and also just to have your makeup laid out on here so it's easier to find everything, and just going through everything in the bag can be kind of messy sometimes. So just having your towel, laying everything out on the towel, also using it as a cleaning tool. The other side, I had my lip bag or my lip kit. So in here, I just have a lot of, all my lipsticks. It's a lot of MAC lipsticks. I have some Dose of Colors. I have, mainly MAC Dose of Colors, and I have some ColourPop. I like to carry liquid lipsticks because a lot of the time clients request having a long-lasting lip color. Obviously, if you're doing their makeup, you're not gonna be with them to touch up throughout the day unless you are doing like a bridal client that pays you to stay for the rest of the day to do touch-ups. But if not, they always ask for something long-lasting. So that's when liquid lipsticks come in handy. Also, I have a lip primer, my lip primer by MAC. If they're not doing a liquid lipstick, I'll make sure I'll do a lip primer. I have all my lip pencils over here and the rubber band. And as far as the colors, I just have a lot of variations of nude. So you can't just have nudes for light skin, you have to have nudes for light skin, medium skin, dark skin. What works as a nude on a lighter skin is not going to work as a nude for a darker skin. So you have to have a variation of nudes. I have a couple different reds, burgundies, some pinks. I mean, most of the time when you're doing someone's makeup, they usually ask for nude, pink, burgundy, or red. So I just have different colors of those. Okay, so to start off, over on this side, I have all my complexion products. So all foundations, concealers, setting powders, highlighters, all that stuff. So in the two big clear pouches, I have all foundations and concealers. So to go through the foundations that I have a bunch of the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I like these because they're nice and full coverage, and they have a bunch of different a nice range of colors for different skin tones. So I have a few of those, and I have a few of Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I remember at one point this was like all I used, and then I just get the MAC pumps and just put those on top so it's easier to pump out the product. For concealer, I mostly use the MAC Conceal and Correct palettes. So I have these in all the colors from light, medium, medium deep, and dark. This is a lot easier than just carrying individual concealers. So I'll just lay these out and I'll just mix and match colors to get a perfect either concealer color or highlight color depending on the skin tone. And I have a range of Studio Fix Fluid foundation. Oh my god. Like these for a more fuller coverage. Again, a great color range in those. So I have a bunch of different colors in Studio Fix Fluid. This was like the first foundation that I ever used both on myself and to freelance. I have some MAC face and bodies. So you also, besides having like a good color range of foundations, you want to also have foundations that are not only full coverage but lighter coverage too. Sometimes people don't always want full coverage, especially like older and more mature skin. Full coverage is not really the best, and Studio Face and Body is used a lot backstage. So I have a lot of those. That's just some like randoms thrown in here. Oh my god, I keep dropping everything. I have one of the new MAC Studio 24-hour concealers. I have a random Makeup Forever HD stick foundation. I have a random MAC Pro Longwear concealer. And then I have also another random, this is the MAC Full Coverage Foundation. It's like a cream foundation. This is the darkest color. It comes in W60 to really like warm up, or if something is not dark enough for a deeper skin tone, I like to use that to warm it up. And then I also have another random NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. And then I have Kevin Aquan Sensual Skin Enhancer. I'll use this either as a concealer or as like a nice highlight color. That's pretty much it for complexion products. The biggest thing with complexion products is you want to have a range from light to dark. If you don't have every single like in between shade, it's okay. You can like mix something in to make it lighter, or mix something in to make it darker, or you can mix something in to make it more yellow or more pink. Don't worry about having every single shade. I don't have every single shade and everything. I have kind of like every other shade, just so I can mix everything into. For the two small bags, I have all my powders in here, and I know it probably doesn't look like a lot, but as far as powders, you don't need every single shade for powders. Like for example, for Studio Fix powder foundation, you don't need 15, 20, 25, 30. Like you can make it work by jumping a few shades. So for powders, I have all MAC powders, and I have everything either in the mineralized skin finish powders, or I have the Studio Fix powders. I like the mineralized powders because you can use them as either a face powder to set someone's makeup, or with the deeper colors you can use them as a bronzer depending on the person's skin tone. So I like to use like dark deepest, which you can kind of see here, as bronzer colors. And then for the Studio Fix powders, I have, again, just a range of colors to either set the person's makeup or to use as like a bronzer or like a highlight color under the eye. So that's mainly what I have in the little bags. I also have highlighters. So I have the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. I have MAC Gold Deposit, which is a perfect highlighter for deeper skin tones. I have MAC Soft and Gentle. And that's pretty much it for highlighters. Most people just want like a golden highlight, or I'll do like for like a peachy highlight on fairer skins, I'll use Soft and Gentle. And over on this side, in this little mesh pocket, I have all my kind of skincare stuff, primers, moisturizers. So for moisturizers, I just use the Embryolisse moisturizer literally on everyone, and then depending on their skin type, I'll use a different primer. So if they have more oily skin and larger pores, I'll use the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. If they have drier skin, I'll use the Too Faced Too Faced Hangover RX primer for drier skin and for more hydration. And then this one I kind of just use on everybody because it gives a nice like flawless smooth finish, is the Hourglass Mineral Veil. And then what else do I have in here? Then I have my MAC Fix Plus, which is just an essential. I have my Laura Mercier translucent powder, so I use this all the time to set under eye concealer. I don't really use it to set face makeup, just only under the eyes. And then for deeper skin tone, I like the Sasha Buttercup setting powder for deeper skin tones for under the eye to make it nice and bright and golden. Also to the banana powder, which is just like a classic also for like under the eye. I like to use this one too to clean up like under the contour to make it nice and bright under there. Then I also just have my powder puff, so I can just hook this onto my finger and I can so I don't get any fingerprints on the person's face, I'll just use this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this pouch and for like skincare stuff. And in this little mesh pouch next to it, I have mainly all eye stuff. So this is my lash bag. I have all my lash and lash accessories in here. I feel like I'm kind of slacking when it comes to lashes. I feel like I need more variations and more styles. But for someone that wants a more natural lash, I have these. These are the Ardell 110 lashes. I have some House of Lashes Iconic lashes if somebody wants something more dramatic and fluffy. These are Ardell 250. These are, I think, some Ardell Faux Mink in the style 811. And then I have a whole bunch of different lash glue. So I have the clear lash glue, I have the brush on black lash glue, and then I have the black duo glue. Also then in my brush belt, I have my lash applicator or tweezer to apply the lashes. So which probably should be in this bag is my lash curler. If anybody has like really long lashes, but they're, you know, very straight, you always want to curl the lashes first. So yeah, that's all the lash products in here. So I have two mascaras. I have the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, and then I have the MAC in Extreme Dimension in Carbon Black as well. I do have a waterproof mascara, but I really only use that for bridal. So as far as like gels or creams, I have, so this is a MAC Fluid Line Brow Gel Cream. This is in True Brunette, so it's like a lighter brown. And then I have it in the darker brown, which is Deep Dark Brunette. I have my Inglot Gel Liner, which I use all the time for wing liner. This is Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. On certain skin tones, this can be used kind of to conceal the lid. And for certain skin tones, it can be used like to cut the crease and to really give like a nice light base for like a light shadow. Then I have my Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is what I always use as an eyeshadow primer. And then if somebody is requesting glitter, I use my NYX glitter adhesive to make sure it stays. And also for glitter, I have more colors, but most people either go for silver or gold. So this is a NYX glitter in just silver, and then this is a gold MAC pigment that came in like one of the holiday sets that they have every year. Then I have some MAC Dazzle, what is this called? Dazzle Shadow Liquid. This is a nice like rose gold, and this is a nice like coppery amber gold, which looks really nice on deeper skin tones. I have a bunch of brow products. So brow products are just like foundation and concealer. You want to have a range of different shades. Sometimes you'll have someone that's very light and blonde and has very light hair, so you want to make sure you have a lighter pencil. And sometimes you have someone that has like really jet black hair and you want to have a darker pencil but not a black. So I have a bunch of different colors, mostly MAC pencils. Then I have my one Benefit pencil, which is in 4.5, which is like a standard like dark brown color. So I have just, again, just a range of different brow colors. And then I have a clear brow set. So if somebody has like really long and kind of like unruly brow hairs, I'll use that to set it after I filled it in. And then also backstage a lot, you don't really like fill in the brow hairs a lot. We usually just kind of fluff them up with brow set. Then I have some eye pencils. So I have a white and a nude, just in case someone wants, you know, a white inner rim. I have a couple of brown pencils, black, and then I have the NYX Jumbo Pencil Milk. I like to use this one a lot, kind of like as a base. If I'm doing like a light color on the eyes. So again, just like a variation of different colors for pencils. And then in this pouch, I have a couple more accessories, but mostly palettes in here. So I have my makeup wipes. You always want to have makeup wipes just in case you have a lot of fallout under the eye, or it's just always good to have makeup wipes. I have some more sprays in here. So this is my brush cleaner spray, and then this is just some hygienic spray from MAC, and I just put it in a smaller travel bottle. This is good to clean products, or if you know, to clean your lipsticks or whatever, just to be hygienic and cleanly. I always like to bring a fan to dry off the skin after I spray it, like with Fix Plus or setting spray, or also too when I apply lash glue onto the lashes, I like to fan it just so it dries a little bit quicker. So I always make sure to have my fan on me. It speeds up the process a little bit. And this is pretty random, but I also did learn this in beauty school, is always to have a garbage bag with you. So I just take a random like plastic bag from the bodega or from the grocery store, and I'll have it at the end of my station. So I'll have it kind of like hanging from the table here, and I'll take a piece of tape, and that way I just have my garbage bag at hand while I'm doing makeup, so you don't get messy and you don't have garbage all over the place. And that way when you're done, just take it, throw it out, and you're good. And in here I have my pack of disposables. So I got this little container from the Container Store, and in here I have all my disposables. So I have 2 different type of lip wands in here, 2 different types of mascara wands, and 2 different types of Q-tips. So I have the really little tiny ones from Muji, and then I have just regular size Q-tips to, you know, to clean up or if you make a mistake. And then also I have another sharpener in here. So I have one in here, and then I have one in my brush belt. Then for the rest of the big pouch, I have a bunch of palettes. So I have the new Huda Beauty nude palette. This is nice for like cranberry colors, a more mauvey eye. The shimmery colors are really, really pretty. I have my customized MAC eyeshadow palette, so I use this one a lot because a lot of the time most of the people want neutral colors. So this is like, you know, browns, neutral, mauvey colors, so I use this one a lot. I have my blush palette. So this is a bunch of MAC blushes. I think it's Peaches, Blush Baby, Spring Sheen, just a bunch of blush colors for different skin tones. Then I have my customized MAC palette. So again, just different range of colors for different skin tones. So to contour deeper skin tones, to contour lighter skin tones, medium skin tones, just a bunch of different contour shades. Yeah, that's pretty much it for everything in my kit, how I organize it, the foundations that I love for freelancing and all that stuff. If you have any other freelancing related questions, leave them down below and possibly I could turn it into another video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I will see you guys in the next video.